Atmanavam to everyone. Today, let's talk about the tarot integrated readings. This is something which is really beautiful and it's a wonderful process. So, how does it go about is that we normally do tarot readings individually. That is one thing. And in that also you can really get really detailed insights and correspondences. Other than that, there is something called integrated reading, where we associate some other things in the reading. That means we incorporate some other tools into the reading and get wonderful, intensive insights. So it becomes a kind of a coupled reading with the normal reading that we have been doing. Now here what I'm doing today is that I'm using the crystals that I have. So there are some nominated crystals that are used for this reading, and plus I have the pendulum out here. Yeah, so pendulum initiates the readings to another level. As at the same time, this is also used to initiate healings. So these are the two things that right now I'm integrating in my reading. All right. So in the layout, which is taken for any problem or any issue, let's say if we are discussing anything, the usage of crystals, as I just said, in the reading will add another dimension wonderfully well in understanding the problem and what is to be done in the present situation, what is the hurdle which is talking about, and what is the outcome or what is the action, much more action that can be done. And the pendulum, as I told, will initiate a process of healing and give more depth to the reading. So it becomes a wonderful way to read tarot in a much more detailed form. I have been doing this with my clients a lot. Actually, it depends that what is the question that somebody has come up with, and accordingly we choose what is to be done to address that particular topic or problem or issue or question. What are the things that need to be integrated? It would necessarily not be tarot alone, but it can be a couple of things together. So I do this a lot with the readings that I offer. But it's important, as I would put it here, to figure out in the reading as which is the area which needs to be healed and how. So that again is a process which is done, and also that which crystal is giving an additional input in the layout, especially the in the position of the cards in the layout where the crystal is or where the crystal is been placed will give that particular additional insight and additional input to that particular area that we are trying to focus on. So this is something that's there, and we get a multi-layered reading then. In that case, we get a multi-layered reading which is different to the normal readings that we do or to the traditional readings that we do. Why? Because it gives a kind of further clarity, big time further clarity as well. Now I am just for a kind of a glimpse, a brief thing. I'm just taking a normal, let's say a reading with respect to work. So I take 5 cards out here, and this is like somebody is asking about work. So I choose to take the layout of 5 cards. And here I find that the placement of the crystal is on the present situation. Yeah. So the present situation as per the card tells me something, and which says that, okay, there are boundaries that I have created for myself. in the work area. That means I'm not allowing any other energy to penetrate. I'm kind of restricting myself with the do's and don'ts and my likes and dislikes. So I am not flexible and I'm not open to the whole thing, right? But the additional two crystals that I see out here, so one is the amethyst and the other is the rose quartz, right? So these are the two crystals which have been placed on this particular card. Now, what are they doing? They are giving me additional insight with respect to the present situation. That means because of this attitude and because of this temperamental issues, the relationships at work, whether it is with the boss, with your seniors, or with your colleagues, is not really doing good, and that needs to be worked upon, and that cordiality needs to be maintained, because otherwise it's going to the work area will have more problems, right? And at the same time, there's another crystal which I said that has been placed here, which says that that mental clarity of decisions, of your thoughts, of your actions and reactions, there that needs to be there. You need to be more calmer in your mind with respect to executing your work or dealing with your folks back in work. So this is something which is an added information to give more clarity to the client, because at times what happens is that temperamentally, or the way we are dealing in the workspace, spoils the relationships, and with the result that you're not happy, not satisfied in the job, and then there's hopping going on. So this is something wherein we get that kind of a clarity. So now in the upcoming time period, when I look at the upcoming time period in the layout, it's a good time period no matter, because I get a good stable card out here. So I would have otherwise said, okay, it's a time period after so much time, let's say after a year or so, because we figure out the time periods as well, that after how much time this period is going to come up in your life, right? So after a year, let's say, as I look at the card, the present card, after a year, this is a time period of stability. This is a time period where you could be getting a key appointment, and you would be, a key position in your work. And it's a time wherein the stability period starts in your life. All right, this is what I'm seeing here. Now there is another crystal which has been placed out here. Now this crystal gives me a very, very intensive insight that this guy, this person, whoever is asking about, let's say, the work area, needs to have complete protection, needs to shield or protect the auric field, because that's very important, because there's going to be a lot of jealousy, there's going to be a lot of negativity that can probably in fact be absorbed by this person. So in order to safeguard, there has to be some shielding which is going to be required for this person to be able to go smoothly and successfully. That means, all these smaller roadblocks, or all these smaller people coming in, smaller things where people come and disturb and try to kind of pose problems for you and all of that. So that is something that can be taken care of. So right away here, which through the crystal, when I'm getting an added information, I have given to the client. So that is going to work really well, and it's going to give a lot of clarity. At the same time, in the layout that's here in front of me, I would be seeing which is the area that needs to be healed. What is it that the client is wanting, or what is it that the client wants to heal? So that healing will be done through and through with the pendulum. At the same time, there can be certain questions which can be put up to the pendulum in order to sync with this particular reading. So all in all, this entire session lasts for an hour. Maybe it can spill over a little more, but at least the clarity is big time, believe me. And I always say this, that I heal my clients almost 80% in one session of mine, which is phenomenal, because I don't believe in giving too much of remedies, because remedies at the end of the day also have certain boundaries, certain restrictions. So, the triggering of an energy is very important, and that's what I do in my readings when I take the personal readings.